Praise the Lord, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha the Preacher. Okay. Well, guys, I was thinking the same sex marriage law has nothing to do with sex. It has nothing to do with sex. Nothing at all. Men have been having sex from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning. Having intimate conversations, disobeying Most High, fighting over women, dominion, all of that. Children from the beginning. This is nothing new. So it's not about sex. The same sex marriage law, what it did was expose the extent that men are actually intimate and the crimes associated with it. Men have always been lovers of themselves, always. But it was always hidden, somewhat of a secret, somewhat. But due to the expense of crime, the cost of crime, what do you call it when inflation, you know, when the great grocery prices go up or whatever? Well, crime has become so lucrative that one area was being overlooked, ignored, you know. There was no profit uh, being generated from it. So now we have all these lawsuits, men suing men over sexual harassment issues. Please click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on your way in, please. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. There's a lot of money to be made by the hidden things. There's a lot of money to be made. Secret things, hidden things, exposures, you know. Has it always been this way? Yes, it has always been this way. But today, for the first time in my 56 years of living, it's trending that rich men, especially Black ones, are being sued by other men for sexual crimes, allegedly, you know. I'm like, what? Every day, a new celebrity is being sued, you know, every day. What? That's giving us an idea of just how many regular working class people are experiencing this. The shakedown is real. I'm not saying people are innocent. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the cost for the crime has increased. There's pros and cons to everything. No matter how good something is, there's pros and cons to it. No matter how bad something is, there's pros and cons to it. That's the sinful nature, I guess you could say, of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. There's a thin line between good and evil, good and bad, a very thin line. That's why the tree of life, a whole separate tree of life, is needed for discernment to separate that good and that bad because they on the same tree. And it's a matter of perception, experience, position, ranking, and ever lasting, evolving, living, breathing experience. The tree of knowledge of good and evil that shapes our intelligence, our conversations, our thoughts, how we treat each other. But thank the Lord, thank Most High for His interjection, intervention, His life, His tree of life, His word, His Son, ways to conversate with us, penetrate us, keep order, balance on His creation. Hello. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Please click like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. So, yeah, there's this shakedown, this shift, this change that's happening on this land. And it's intended to create some type of balance, to bring hidden things to the light. And that was a huge hidden area that has not been discerned properly, that has not been evaluated. You know, the crimes committed, between men, you know? How do we compensate for that? How do we compensate for that? I think that's where that marriage law comes in. It was a way. One, again, everything has pros and cons, something good and bad about it. And I don't think that marriage law has anything to do with sex itself, but it has everything to do to even out the playing field between men intimately, where they can't get away with violating each other anymore. They'll have to pay for it, if that makes sense. I knew it was something. At first, I was thinking, well, there's this huge financial advantage. There's this huge financial advantage that the combination of two men have over any other combination of people, whether two women or a man and a woman. To me, a man and a woman are the least money makers. A man and a woman are the least money makers. Two women will hustle together, hustle jobs, hustle kids, make it work, payment to, fix everything. But two men financially have a huge advantage over all other combination of couples. But before they got to this point, before they got to this point, two men can legally marry. Think about all the hidden crimes, unreported. If we women think that we've been abused by men, can you imagine how they treat each other? And we just don't even know about it. I don't even want to imagine it, but I had a thought about it tonight. Why are all these lawsuits coming to light? You know, yeah, these men have money, and money has a way of, you know, tempting people. Money will lead people to darkness, but it also can lead them to the light, unaware. You don't even know. But that's just a thought. I could be completely wrong, sounding crazy as usual. You know what I'm saying? But you all be blessed. Thanks for listening to me. Just thoughts. Just thoughts. You know, please click like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I just think it's so convenient that all these lawsuits and all these cases of men violating each other, one by one by one by one, being taxed. Why all of a sudden? But then it makes sense. The law allows it, affords it. The law says it's legal to be happy together. So if it's legal to be happy together, then it must be illegal not to be. And then, of course, any legal marriage can be legally attacked by homewreckers. So that's how even these men that are not legally married can sue each other. It's legal, you know. Once you legalize sex, it creates an illegal component to it. So now there's going to be a lot of male on male, you know, lawsuits. It's going to become extremely profitable to get a quick bag that way, you know, swap destinies with someone else. Yeah, I see it. It's growing already. It was encouraged, and now it's people are being punished for it. It's encouraged on the front end. All these boys and men wearing dresses. You can't even tell if it's a man or a woman. But on the back end, you can get sued. What? Make it make sense. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Just, something to think about. At least it's the kind of stuff I think about. All right. Be blessed.